Here are 5 AEW stars that would at least consider making a return to WWE just to work under Triple H yet again. Now, this could be due to personal reasons. This could be due to working relationships because they worked with him in the past. Maybe it's a mentor. Maybe it's a friendship, but there's 5 because look, for the longest time, there was WWE talent that would jump ship from WWE to AEW, and then it was Cody Rhodes and Jay Cargill and Lexis King and all these others, Ethan Page, who opted to leave AEW for WWE. There's going to be more talent from AEW to go to WWE. It's a back and forth dynamic, and I believe that these 5 stars would absolutely fit the bill on that because Triple H has done wonders since taking over main roster creative in the summer of 2022. And without further ado, let's get into this list. At number 5, it's Dustin Rhodes. Now, keep in mind, Dustin Rhodes is an interesting guy considering that he is actually having his AEW contract expire in the near future. Now, look, he could easily resign with him considering he is the ROH Trios champion, although a lot of people think that he would return to WWE. First of all, he has tenure with the company. He has worked with this company for years and years and years, on again, off again. He's no doubt a bona fide WWE Hall of Famer. But the elephant in the room is the fact of his bloodline. And I know I'm not talking about Roman Reigns. I'm talking about Cody Rhodes, our undisputed WWE champion. Why do I think that Dustin would return to reunite, I should say, with his brother? Well, it's because they got a little bit of unfinished business. How cool would it be to see Dustin Rhodes return to WWE, reunite with his little brother, have another tag team match? Maybe that's the way that he goes out. That's how he retires. That'd be pretty cool. Dustin Rhodes has done a lot in this business. He's also done a lot under the WWE banner. Now, I understand that he has a very sweet gig in AEW working with the younger guys, but at the same time, I think it'd be quite fitting just to see him back in WWE. Just one more time, just one more match. He could easily do what he's doing in AEW in NXT. He still has his wrestling school. That's not going to change. He's also doing wrestling on a part-time basis while working as a producer slash agent in the backstage area. That's something that he can easily do in WWE. The fact that he can make a lot of money with a company that he already knows. He doesn't have to work for Vince McMahon. There's a lot of positives there, and I think that's something in which he needs to consider about this possibility. Number 4, and you're going to call me a little crazy, but hear me out, it's Samoa Joe. While he's had a successful run in AEW, including winning the World Championship as well as the ROH World Championship, he has a long history with WWE and Triple H. His versatility as a wrestler and a commentator could easily make him a valuable addition to the company. Now, keep in mind that Samoa Joe was booked very strongly under Triple H in NXT. In fact, he was NXT champion. Samoa Joe, he had a fun run on the main roster. It was short, but it was a lot of fun, and he showed a lot of potential in that. And then he got injured. He kept suffering concussions, and that was a big no-no at the time, and still is to a certain degree. And so they put him as a commentator. And you know what? He absolutely thrived as a commentator. And then they pulled him from that role. And then he started working behind the scenes before he ultimately was released. He was actually working under Triple H in NXT, which is funny. But that was during the time where they just got rid of all of Triple H's guys, William Regal and a bunch of others of his NXT team while he was dealing with major health issues where he almost died due to a heart issue. Samoa Joe got cut and he went to AEW, started wrestling again, and has never looked back. He's transitioned into Hollywood and doing acting gigs. He's part of the Metal Mayhem show on Peacock or Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal. That's what that is. Anyways, he would do great under Triple H. You need him as a commentator? Check. You need him as a wrestler? Check. You need him behind the scenes? He can do that. He can legitimately do anything. And he gets along well with Triple H. He's one of Triple H's guys, if you will. And I think he would absolutely soar in WWE yet again in whatever role they seem fit for him. But look, he's made a lot of money. He's had a ton of success in AEW. I could see why Tony Khan wouldn't want to let someone go of his stature. Number 3, we're going with a tag team, and I think this one's going to surprise you. It's FTR, Dax Harwood, Cash Wheeler. The tag team has a history with Triple H, having been heavily featured in NXT during their time as a revival. Their in-ring style aligns well with WWE's current product and Triple H's philosophy when it comes to booking. Plus, their popularity could easily see them make a return to WWE, as they would no doubt be a valuable asset. FTR under Triple H and NXT, superb, having banger after banger after banger. On the main roster, they did well. What was one of the reasons why they left WWE for AEW? They wanted opportunity. Not for them, they wanted opportunity for the tag team division. WWE for years and years and years under Vince McMahon's leadership absolutely sucked with tag teams. Just awful. And so, what happened under Triple H? He has started to build back the tag team divisions. You look at Raw, you look at SmackDown, heck, you look at NXT. There's a lot of interesting tag teams right now. More importantly, there's a lot of opportunities for FTR, both personally, coming back, having bangers, winning championships, being used in a prominent way, aside from just being the Collision anchors, right? That's all they do is just work Collision, and no one watches Collision, and that sucks. But they could also get other talent over, and considering that they care about tag team wrestling, they care about other tag teams, I think that they would fit well in WWE. They're also getting a lot older, and what does AEW pride themselves on? We're the best wrestle. Well, you don't necessarily have to have that tagline in WWE. They could actually work really good matches, but not as hard on their bodies, and make a ton of cash in doing so. So I think they would be a natural fit to come back to WWE, work under Triple H, and perhaps transition into, trainers, if you will, for the company. Number 2, and this one might surprise you, it's Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks. Look, after her departure from WWE, she found success in New Japan and AEW. And if Triple H offered her the opportunity of creative control and a return, well, that might happen. It might be on the horizon. Look, as recently as last year, before she signed with AEW, she had talks with WWE on 2 occasions. Look, her issues of leaving WWE weren't with Triple H. It wasn't even with the company. It was with Vince McMahon. She didn't like the creative, right? And so she opted to walk, and she negotiated her release. It was actually very impressive, her and Naomi. And so she took her ball, and she went to New Japan, found a lot of success. Could have returned. I mean, she even said in her Monet Mag that she envisioned herself working WrestleMania 39 in 2023 out in LA. But she opted not to do so. She went to AEW. And, her AEW run has been a little up and it's been down. It's been rocky. It's been sideways. It's had a lot of emotions. People like it. People hate it. I'm the same way. Some weeks I love it. Some weeks I can't stand it. But at the end of the day, I think there's going to be a day where she does return. Look, Mercedes Moné, she's a mercenary. She's a businesswoman. She's the one that is trying to capitalize on her found success, trying to earn that cash money and taking opportunities where she sees fit. I think a return to WWE would certainly do that. I think Triple H would use her very, very well, just like he did down in NXT. Of course, she's one of the 4 horsewomen of WWE alongside Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Bayley. So yeah, you best believe I can see Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné return to WWE one day. And I think she'll do it very, very well. But for right now, she's in AEW. She's under a multi-year deal. So it won't be anytime soon, but I could absolutely see her returning. And at number 1, and if this wasn't obvious enough, it's about to be Malachi Black. Yes, Aleister Black. Look, Black's time with WWE was cut short under Vince McMahon's regime. Under Triple H, on the other hand, well, he could continue to write the history in which he did in NXT under Triple H. Because with Triple H now in charge of main roster creative, there's a chance for redemption that could see Black return to WWE to finish his story. Look, throughout Malachi Black's tenure in AEW after being released by WWE, his tenure has been met with criticism and controversy. He reportedly does not like to do jobs. Every 6 months, he will do a thing in a match where people think he's leaving, and then he teases it after the match, and then he has to go on social media and be like, guys, I'm not leaving. I don't know why you think that. And it's like, bruh, you are indicating it after your matches by looking deep into the camera or looking out at the fan base like you're leaving. If you don't want people to assume that, maybe act like everyone else on the main roster and not do it. Just a thought, just a suggestion. But hey, what do I know? At the end of the day, Malachi Black, he had a run in NXT that was unbelievable. He had superstardom written all over him, but once he got to the main roster, it just wasn't quite the same under Vince McMahon. And I don't know what exactly happened to him in AEW because he came in like a beast on fire. He feuded with Cody Rhodes, laid out the dude, beat him in quick fashion, and was off to the races. But then, for whatever reason, Tony Khan feels like he needs to book him as a tag team or a trios guy, despite the fact that Aleister Black did not get over as a tag team or a trios guy in WWE, but rather a top single star, yet they book him as that. It's the weirdest thing ever. I don't understand it, but that's just what they do.